Cool.
Unless
Yeah,
this is the one from before, but
that might be the one from before. Yeah, because this says stream 2 minutes ago. It says we're offline.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. I mean, we're streaming.
This was happening the other day too. It was like it said it was live, and I couldn't actually find out.
That is so bizarre. Oh, we're live. It says we're live now. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's still lagging a little bit. Yeah, I mean it's better than what it was before, but we're still getting like lag spikes.
Okay, yeah.
It's better, yeah.
I guess this is the
This is the one from earlier. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We good. Yeah. At least it's good on my phone, so.
dude, this is how.
Yeah, no, this is much better now.
All right, this is a good
Cool.
job.
All right. Well, hey guys. How's it going? We're back. We're live. Julian shall take over.
Hey guys. Yeah, sorry about that. Dylan was helping me out there with the stream. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem. Try my hardest.
We've been having problems lately, as you guys may have noticed, but we're back. We're live. We're doing the thing that we do the best, and we're gonna be listening to your tracks today. How's it going, Mike Corrigan? Good, better. I can hear you. That's good. It's still super like choppy, but I guess that's just how we're rocking, guys. It's really annoying. I just got this new laptop, and it just seems to have every single problem you can think of when it comes to streaming. But I guess it's working.
You might just have to update your drivers.
Yeah.
It could just be like your graphics drivers might just be out of date. I know it's a new laptop, but
That can happen though.
that can absolutely happen. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened. We had some technical difficulties. Bad dive. We sort of have it figured out. I mean, it's still not the greatest quality in the world, but we're live, so I guess it's at least it's better than nothing, is what we're saying.
Yeah. No, I mean it looks pretty solid. I'd say this is good. It seems like it'll just like chop out like every little bit, and then there'll be a little period of time where it's annoying, but
Yeah.
it's working now.
It'll just tend you out for like a little bit.
Sometimes, yeah, it'll just tend you out. You know what I'm saying? But
Julian, we should make a track until people send us donations.
should say send us tendy donations. Like using this laptop to stream is like eating chicken tenders with mustard instead of ketchup.
I mean, hey, you can't. Some people like mustard with their.
That's true. That's true.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't make the tendies lag. Anyways, Mink Yoster, what's up, dude? The plan for today is to listen to you guys' tracks. Can I submit a song right now? You can. Everybody who wants to send a track through, we are giving feedback. So if you want to send it through, send it to the link or the email in the description. It should be in there. And we'll be checking those out. Donations greatly appreciated. I can hear you. That's good. Did you guys yeah, we did. Awesome. We just got one. I saw the notification on my phone, so I'm going to pull that up. This first one here is from Jorge.
We got Jorge. What you got for us, Jorge? If yeah, once this loads. Jeez. Yeah, I guess nothing is working right now.
Yeah, pretty much everything is just broken.
That's so weird.
I know, dude. It's like this is what I'm saying. Like it's like just technical issue after technical issue, and it's like things that just randomly happen that I can't control. But we still moving.
We here.
We're still here doing it, and that's what matters.
Yeah. There we go.
But yeah, now it's working. It's just like one of those things, I guess. Jay York, Diminish. Is this a new project from you, Jorge? I'm excited to hear this. This guy probably makes some of the best techno that I've gotten submissions from. I can tell he's really worked on his tracks.
Hey, what up, Jorge? Glad you're here.
Should pick up more.
Yeah,
Now we can get, yeah.
just so I don't have to like bleed in constantly.
Yeah. Dude, my breath right now, to be honest, is probably like bad, like really bad.
Yeah. This is nice though. This is very atmospheric.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. I like the transition.
And a release. Hey, congrats on the Reload release. Reload Black Label or the regular label? That's the one I released Phantom Thieves on.
Ooh, hell yeah.
I'm trying not to cover your face.
Oh no, you're fine. It happens. Ooh. Okay.
I could see like Dash J playing this.
Ooh. All right. I like that. John Tejada vibes right there.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what it would sound like if you set the BPM a little bit lower, like if you set it to like 130 or 135.
Yeah.
Because right now this is 140, and I feel like this is just my personal opinion. I think it would sound really cool if you set the BPM just like a little bit lower and see what that sounds like.
Yeah.
Even though it's slower, it's not as upbeat. It really you'd be able to get the atmosphere.
Yeah. it's like more
If you want to be more atmospheric with it, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I hear you. Like, this could definitely work at a variety of BPMs. Everybody just loves the meme of 140 BPM right now. Honestly, I'm not crazy about that clap. It feels like everything else is like really cool and textured, and then the clap just sounds like a really dry, like kind of sample pack clap. Like I feel like you could get maybe a stronger one. It's hard to say exactly, but I just feel like it could be more like really cracky. The building is nice here. Like, it doesn't get boring even though it's a lot of the same thing. Although one thing is, I think the simplicity, you could kind of make it a bit more simple in places. Like, I'd love to hear a part where it's just the kick. Or maybe like just the kick and the hi-hat or something. Like, kind of let it breathe. Ah, there we go. Okay, yeah, so overall, main things here, really solid track, cool idea. I like where you're going with it. I think, one, you could get a better clap. I also think the kick could have a little bit more attack to it. Like, just more of like a really at the start. And then also what Dylan said, like, try slowing it down. Try it at a few different ranges of BPMs, because definitely when you have hectic synths like this, like he was saying, like, it gives you more space between every, like, kick, essentially, and then if you can feel the atmosphere more.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at least for me, again, I'm come from more of a hip-hop background than EDM background, but the slower you have a song, the more atmospheric it sounds, and especially this song right here, you have a lot to work with the synths and the claps and the kick and all that. But again, I wouldn't go lower than like 130, just because then it completely changes the genre of the actual song. But between 130 and 140, see what it sounds like, and I think you'd be surprised with how cool it would sound. But again, that's just my opinion. So Julian is more qualified than I am, so just keep that in mind.
We're all equally qualified here,
No,
but
we're not.
well, you're right though. Like if you take it less than 130, like I wouldn't do like 128 even with this. Like I would stick to 130 and above, but you could try some stuff because it's definitely gonna give you more space, and that's what you want with a track like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, thank you for seeing that one through. This next one is from Free Mango Time. Demo, but still rip it up.
Ooh.
What's up, Jay? Been a minute. Good to see you. Tell me what's bad. Let's destroy this person.
All right, let's
No, I'm
fucking roast
kidding.
him. I'm just kidding.
It's over for you.
Uninstall Ableton.
True. I'm gonna drop it to 135. Nice. Check description. Yeah, if you want to send the track through, it's all in the description. This is quiet. Yo. We gotta like even out the volume here. Okay, there we go. This track is really quiet, dude.
Yeah, track is way too quiet. From what we can hear from the track, it does sound very atmospheric, but you absolutely have to boost the master because we can barely hear it. Even with us like tuning it up on the interface, we can still barely hear it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, from what we can hear, it sounds really good, but again, we can't really give a really detailed analysis of it just because we can barely hear it. Nothing against you, it's just a matter of boosting the master up and then just resending it in.
It does say unmastered, but like your track can be. Sorry, that was really loud.
No, you're good.
Your track can be unmastered and still be like audible, you know?
Yeah. Like the thing is, I mean, with unmastered, it's mainly just like, at least how I view it is like, unmastered means essentially you have all the instruments together, everything kind of matched up together, but you haven't really balanced the volume at all. Which that's fine, but with this, you basically just either you set the master volume so low that you can't hear anything, or you just set the export volume really low. Which I mean, with Ableton, that's all due to like what your master volume is set up as.
Exactly, yeah.
Or the individual ones, you might not even have a master like set up, but
Yeah.
just make sure to set that higher. Even if it's peaking or whatever, I'd rather have it peaking than not being able to hear it at all, because then you can just turn it down. You know?
Yeah. And when it's unmastered, it's like it still has to be the song. You know, you still have to get that same feeling. You can't say like, oh, this is gonna be so much better when it's mastered. Because trust me, if you put this right now through Lander, it still wouldn't quite be there. You know?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, right now your synths are that was really loud. Like right now your synths are very poppy. Like we can hear your synths excellently, but we're not able to hear anything else from the track. So your synths are great volume, but everything else you kind of have to boost that and just level it up a little bit. So.
Yeah. And just like little stuff, like if the kick was fatter even, I think it would be more. I think like that would even make it more easily audible, you know? It just has to be like kind of optimized. Like you have some cool ideas though, like with this. It actually is some interesting stuff going on here. Sounds like the synth is going through puberty. It's like voice cracking. But yeah, like overall, you have some cool ideas going on here, dude. You just definitely gotta get the volume up, get the fatness and the loudness of everything stronger. And also, I think maybe it could kind of follow a more like straightforward structure. Like, I'm not saying like, you know, make it like a techno track where it's like kind of all formulaic, but maybe you could try and just make it follow like some more repetition and have some more parts that are kind of like repeating throughout. Because right now, even though there's cool stuff happening, it feels like it's just jumping around the cool stuff. It doesn't feel like it's like going somewhere, if that makes any sense. Like, really, the tracks with interesting synth sounds that are really the best and go the farthest and the most interesting to the most amount of people are the ones where it's not just weird synth sounds, but it's also like being built up in an interesting way. But yeah, did you just send your track to the regular reload label email and they decided to put it on the black label, or do they have? No, I'm pretty sure. I mean, when I sent the email, when I sent the one for Phantom Thieves, I just said like I sent it to their regular email and I said reload or reload black. But yeah, I got another release coming on reload black too. I'm really hoping to use one of the like cool artworks for mine. Oh, it's broken. Anyway, yeah, this is an interesting track, dude. I just think that you could kind of optimize it a bit more, you know?
Oh, dude, we got a task manager.
Yeah, oh, but I guess not because Spotify's already closed. All right, that's cool. Well, let's see if we have any more submissions. We do. All right, this next one is, thank you for sending that one through, free mango time. This next one is from James Poole. What do you think, mate? I hope you're well. Just sent you a track via PayPal, Chief. First time in the stream. Ah, nice. I didn't get anything. All right, let's turn this down. Hey, man, can you check out my track? You didn't get to it in your stream 2 weeks ago. I'm going to be honest with you, dude. If you sent it 2 weeks ago, it's just very hard to get and, like, go and find that email. If you send it now, though, we'll happily check it out. It's just, like, I can't just, like, go back and find that. Because then you guys are going to see all my emails on the stream.
Yeah.
Yo, I appreciate the feedback. You totally right. No worries. I mean, it's easy to, like, have your headphones at a certain level and then not realize, you know? Okay, this one, though, definitely does not have the same issue with being too quiet.
Yeah, OBS is we're still trying to figure out the kinks with OBS. The quality should be back up in a second. I think it's just like once we have too many processes going on the one computer right now, then it just kind of like tendies around with it. Yeah, that might help. This is nice though. I like this. Ooh, this is really cool. Yeah. This is like an Ibiza video here.
And it's very lively.
Very clean master. The lows are excellent. Good mids as well. I love that synth, dude. It sounds really nice.
Yeah. I like how it's like kind of, like I said, like an electro vibe almost. It almost reminds me of like a synth you hear in like an art bat track. And the whole arrangement is very lively. There's enough going on to where it's not too much, but it's still very full. That's good. Understanding things.
I love the vocal synth. The synth is very clean. I really like it. This is really cool. I really like this.
Yeah. only thing I'll say is I would have loved to hear some like some kind of straight 16th note hi-hats over this part. I feel like with where you were going out of here, dropping into like this exact same thing, but just with the over it would have been great. To get the energy like just perfect to where it needs to be. Or even like a tambourine. Oh yeah, overall, James, cool track. You know, you got something interesting. It's not just like standard tech house. Like you're kind of doing that sound that's popular, but then taking your own thing with it, which is always great. I think that's really interesting, and I think you should keep going down that road. I like this track a lot. I think it's interesting. The main things I'm hearing though are just like I said, that part here. I would have loved for that to drop in with a tambourine or something. And then also, maybe you could mix it up a little bit. Like, maybe you could automate the main synth a little bit or something. The I know you have some like filter automation on there, but something else that could give it some movement would be great because like it is good for the first few minutes, but then by the end it gets kind of, you know, you've heard it a lot of times. So I would just try and mix it up a little bit, but overall pretty good. You got anything to add?
I mean, yeah, you pretty much said everything that I thought.
Yeah.
Just way more concise than I would have.
Well, nice. Well, let's move on to this next one, dude. Actually, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water real quick.
Oh boy, oh boy. All right, Julian's going to get some water. I guess that means I'm gonna be here to entertain you guys. Huh?
You're the entertainment.
Oh God. Oh golly gee. All right. Well, I guess I'm here. So, Julian's getting his water. How are you guys doing? How's life going? Is life going great? Are you guys making sure to get your work done? Are you guys being proactive and working hard, following your dreams, paying your bills on time? I'm trying my hardest as well. Haha, that's so great. Cool. Man, this is a tape dispenser right here. It dispenses tape. Did you know that tape dispenser dispenses tape?
It's crazy, dude.
Dude, no way. That's crazy.
Fucking unbelievable.
Well, Julian's back.
So I hear there's been a breakthrough with a tape dispenser.
Yeah, you know it.
Nice. All right. Well, this next one is from Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Hey, bro.
We just hear a D's nuts sample.
Oh no, then it would really be my dad.
Can I get a free critique for my birthday? If you send us a track, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we listen to all of them for free. It's just that, like, if you want more detailed feedback, like, if you want us to really, you know, dive in and tell you, like, the stuff to really take to the next level, that's what the donation gets you. But if you just want me to listen to it and, you know, have us kind of tell you some general advice, definitely send it through. Like, that's straight.
Hey, cheers from Argentina. That's awesome.
Cheers. Los Angeles.
You're here.
Hey, by the way, everybody, if it's your birthday, Lala Zub, everybody say happy birthday in the chat to Lala Zub. I think that's how you say that. Starting the stream then. Yeah, it was just like a bunch of headaches. Like, this is a bunch of random things that were hard to figure out, but now it's pretty solid. Thank you for the help, Dylan.
Yeah, no problem.
It looks like this track, one thing I would say, you don't really have the kick playing enough. Like a techno track like this, you know, the main part is supposed to be that part where it's like the full energy, like hi-hats, the kick. you have more of a, this track is more break than this like main drop. So that's something I'd work on because you really like the break is just meant to be a break. It's not meant to be the main parts, you know. Oh, we got a donation from Silas Rowe. Nice. All right, thank you, man. We're gonna play yours next. That's another thing. If you donate, you get to skip the line.
Los Angeles is one of the most competitive artistic cities in the entire world. So, yeah, there is a lot of competition here in Los Angeles. But it's good, though, because you do get to meet a lot of different people. But then again, it's really, really hard to stand out. Because I guarantee you, it's one of those things that's like, you have an idea and you think it's extremely original, but I guarantee you there's somebody else that has already thought of that, not only thought of that idea, but perfected it. So now I'm just like, shit, I invested all this time into this idea. Either I tweak it to make it my own thing, or I just take the L and move on.
Yeah.
Where you can't really take the L and move on, though, or else you're gonna fall behind. I mean, biggest thing is like, LA is a great place to be, but if you come here, like, you can't afford to sit around on your ass and just kind of do nothing, which it's kind of what I've been doing recently. But that's neither here nor there. It's just like my personal issues with like moving and all that shit. But make your stuff, put it out there, make sure you promote the hell out of it, and make sure people listen to it, because that's what matters at the end of the day. You can make content however you want to, but it doesn't really mean anything unless people are watching it. That's not very motivational, but that's kind of the reality, though. It's like if you wanna make a career as an artist, you have to make sure that people will see your content, whether it be music or film or poetry or writing or whatever it may be that you might consider art. It's like if people aren't going to watch it or take time to really appreciate it, you just can't have it as a full-time career unless you have somebody that essentially gives you money. Like if you have like a promoter or a rich parent. But
exactly.
that's kind of what it boils down to. So it's a lot of hard work. You meet a lot of extremely hard-working people out here because everybody's kind of hustling, doing the same kind of grind. But on the flip side, you need to stand out. You need to find something that you can do to help you stand out. So sorry for that mini rant. But
No, that's shit. No, dude, like I agree. Like that's the thing. It is a lot of competition, but I feel like that's like what motivates us. Cause like you were saying, like sitting around on your ass, like it's easy to do that in a place where it's not so competitive. But dude, like both of us, like we just are getting so much of that all the time.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
And it's motivating both of us to do cool stuff.
Yeah.
So like I think it's good, but it can definitely be kind of stressful.
Yeah, and especially with LA, because I mean you have to think about it. Like all the big labels are here. I mean Sony, UMG, Warner Music, Epic Records. They're all based in LA. I mean like for EDM, I don't know if like Mad Decent is in LA or not.
I think so.
But
Mousetrap.
yeah, but that's the thing is like you have a ton of different, like you have all the major labels here. So even if you don't make it, just by being here, you get exposed to all those labels one way or another, whether it be working with another artist or bumping shoulders with enough artists and working with them and showing that you know what you're doing. Because like if you don't have any content to show, people aren't going, like they don't know you. They're going to be
come to the people.
Yeah, it's like the people aren't going to come to you unless you have something to show them, you know? And and that's just the reality. It's like you can that's one of the things that I've really learned is that like you can say that you know what you're doing, like you can show that you know what you're doing, but if you have nothing to go off of, people don't have a reason to believe you, you know?
Yeah.
So especially as a musician or as a filmmaker, you just keep on making stuff, keep on putting it out there, keep on improving your stuff, and then after a while, even if it doesn't go anywhere, you have enough of a backlog that you can kind of fall back on and be like, hey, like here's stuff that I've done in the past, like here's what I can do. And just kind of give a flavor to a different artist. So especially if you reach out and try to collaborate with an artist and you don't have anything to show, why should they care? That's just the reality. And this is like speaking from me, personal experience. Is like I didn't have a whole backlog of content, and I still don't. I mean, I have a website, but that's kind of it. And it's still not enough to really convince people. It's like, yeah, but like I know you can do this, but like what else can you really do? Or like, do you have enough of like a track record to show like, hey, you know what you're doing? So.
Yeah, and like the thing I've learned too is like that's exactly how you have to look at it, because it's like it's more so it's not like, oh, here's this one opportunity or like here's this one label I want to send my music to, for example. Let me just make something, fit myself into that, and then go from there. It's more so like let me be consistent over a period of time and just keep doing things, and then like everything is gonna be based on that.
Yeah.
That's
mean,
like what I've
that's
learned
essentially
from
what
it.
it boils down to.
Yeah,
I
but in any
mean-
case, sorry, I mean,
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just gonna say. I mean, like in terms of specifically electronic music, I mean, LA isn't obviously as big as like what Berlin, Paris, any major European city, but there still is a ton
Yeah.
of competition here within electronic music and just within like music in general. I mean, LA is definitely, I would say, more hip hop and alt rock centered. But I mean, yeah, like you said, there's a huge underground EDM scene. I mean, Sound Nightclub has amazing shows. Like, if you guys are ever in LA, please, for the love of God, go to Sound Nightclub once because the sound system there will just knock you on your ass. It is so good.
yeah.
It's the most balanced sound system out there. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it boils down to. And yeah, like the beauty with the internet is that you don't have to be in LA to make it, but being in LA absolutely helps out. I mean, because you're basically connected to every single resource known to man that you can think of, and you
Yeah.
can reach out to artists a lot easier just by saying like, hey, I live in LA. Do you want to collab? You can then meet up with an artist like that, as opposed to, let's say, at least within America, if you lived on the East Coast like New York, be like, hey, like let's collab. You can't really do that as easily because it's not as much of a streamlined process, you know?
Yeah. It's like a big, like, creative camp, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
It's summer camp.
it's essentially like summer camp, but everybody's just really depressed and broke all the time. And
That's
then
the way
and then
to
you
put
have
it.
that one rich asshole that's like, I'm better than you guys. But I mean, at the end of the day though, like everybody's going through the same grind. Even if they are successful, people are grinding 24/7. I mean, it's your entire life, especially if you're doing freelance work. Like, if you're working for a company and you do music on the side, then that's another story. But if you're only doing music or video for freelance as like your full-time job, it's 24/7 grind. You don't really have time to do anything else. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's all a matter of like how much work you put into your work and how hard you try to get your work out there. Because if people aren't coming back to watch your work or listen to your work or read your work or whatever it may be, it's not really going to be able to, you can't really build that up, and it's not going to be able to go anywhere based on that fact. And that's just the hard reality. I mean, making a career as an artist is extremely difficult if you don't know
is,
what
man.
you're doing
Yeah.
and if you don't work hard.
Yeah, exactly. But
Well, it's not even that. Working hard is half the battle, but working smart
yeah.
is the other half.
Work smarter, not harder, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I need to work on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. So
But
sorry,
anyway.
sorry for that rant. I'm sorry that I feel like that went a lot longer than we planned.
It was good motivation. But with this track, I would say like it's pretty much everything we said. Like they just need to make this track a little bit more like lively, a little bit more drops, you know. And yeah, you got any words on this one?
No, I mean, I like this one. I personally, I'm not the biggest fan of minimal techno, so I am a little bit biased, but it does sound really good for what it is. I think it's very balanced. The synths sound incredibly nice, very clean,
Yeah.
very atmospheric. So
03 is cool. Anyway, thank you for seeing that one through. This next one is from Silas. Hope y'all well. Focus of
Silas.
the track was experimenting with intentional clip distortion and stereo vocal laying. Cheers.
why does that name sound so familiar?
I don't know. I think this guy sent stuff in before.
Okay, I was gonna say, cause like I remember you, Silas. I don't know where I remember you from.
This guy could have like 50,000
Yeah.
SoundCloud followers. I don't know.
This is gonna annoy me. It's like,
Okay. Cool artwork.
where have I heard this?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
First time.
And
You said enough, pull me back to cut me off.
alright.
Don't provoke my composure.
this beat is really
I
cool.
don't have enough, I can't bend to you.
But to be honest with you, your vocals sound a little bit weak. I feel like your performance could be more like confident.
Wait a minute, Silas. Are you signed with Logic? That's where, because somebody named Silas just signed under Logic's record label.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine that you're the one that is signed with Logic, but if you are, that's fucking awesome. That's cool.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, that would be a very odd coincidence. Nicholas Ella, did you get my donation? I did, yes.
No,
Here's what's
sir.
up next after
Okay,
this
cool.
one.
I was gonna say, because you sound similar to the guy that just got signed by Logic, so either way though, I really love this beat. This is really nice.
Ain't got the stamina,
Yeah, this beat
you
is really
said
tight.
enough. Don't
And even like the melody and the vocals is dope. I just think like the performance could be more like.
back to
It sounds like you're kind of like, but you want to be like this, like lively, you know?
cut me off. Don't provoke my
I do want to say though, even though I love how the 808 sounds with it being so choppy and essentially peeking through, it's there's a difference between it basically peaking and being loud for the sake of being loud, and just being well balanced to where like delivers more of an oomph, you know? Because like right now, even though it is a loud 808 kick, you don't really hear it on the low end. You know, I know that might not be what you're going for, but to give it a more of like a booming effect, I think that's one thing that you could look into tweaking.
Yeah, that would make it a lot more impactful. I do agree with that too. And also, like, you could layer a kick with it too. You know, like when you hear like the real like. At
Yeah,
the start,
exactly.
like,
yeah.
That would help this a lot. The young Vance type beat.
But what can I do when cruelty blooms out of the blue?
Might be an artistic approach. Yeah, I get that, like the crunchiness, but I agree with what he's saying. I think the crunchiness can be done in a more like optimized way.
Yeah, because the thing is like, there's not a problem with it being crunchy. I love it personally, but just tweaking it so that it sounds a little bit cleaner, because you can still make it sound crunchy while maintaining the aesthetic sound, but not have it so crunchy that it's just distracting. Because right now, like whenever the 808 kicks, it just kind of takes me out of it. Because like the rest of the beat sounds really cool and it's really well mixed and produced, but it's just the kick that the 808 kick just tweak it, just kind of tweak it a little bit. But again, my personal opinion.
All the way you could come till I tire out. Rather late, seem like fate when they find out. When they find out.
This is dope.
Hey, Julian, did you get Nicholas's donation?
Ain't gonna take a slime
Did you get Nicholas's donation?
Look
Okay,
at my
cool.
room, look at the bright
We
side
got it.
of the room. You like light side of the moon. Trying to work me in the dark. Sit it side
This is like, this reminds me of like a haunted house type
That's
beat,
exactly
you know?
what I did.
Like you're walking through a haunted house.
That's exactly what I fixed. Stuck in your waves. That's exactly what you
Oh, honestly, kind of reminds me of Kendrick in a way too. Like the
exactly
rapping
what
beats.
I'm not
It's like a Kendrick like Thundercat Flying Lotus type beat.
Yeah, it's like trap, but it's a little bit more sophisticated. It's a little bit more classy.
The entire stream sounds like it's being ran through a line.
I'm like this for the last few minutes. Hold up, let's see.
Let's see.
It looks like it's
Are we
good on the
peaking?
desktop audio. It seems like it's Mike Delios. Thank you for the donation. Well, is anybody else having this issue? Because I was hearing some clicking a second ago, but then it stopped, so I didn't think anything of it.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that could be, because the issues were all with the video. Anybody else who's in the chat right now, let us know if you guys are hearing like that same kind of thing. Audio is fine.
Okay. Yeah, so Silas, basically what we were saying, I don't know how far back
Yeah.
it went back, but basically we were just saying like, at least for me personally, I would tweak the 808 a little bit just because it sounds like it's more peaking and just like too crunchy, and it's not really delivering enough oomph. And it kind of takes you out of it. I know that's not necessarily I don't know if you were necessarily trying to go for that, but personally, I would tweak the 808 a little bit just because the rest of the beat sounds great, like the filler, the backing, that sounds really good. But just tweak the 808 a little bit so that it delivers a little bit more power and less crunch. Just kind of equal that out. So.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean specifically too in terms of frequencies, like it just sounds like there's too much around like 100 to 200 to 300. I would cut that a little bit, hertz I mean, and then kind of boost the low end, and that'll do what we're saying. Did you get my donation? Dadbod, what was the name on the donation? If you guys send a donation and you send like a track, let me know, because sometimes people send them and then we like can't find them because the names don't match up.
Yeah, so yeah, like I said, I like the crunchiness of the 808, but I think if you can balance it out a little bit so that you bring in a little bit more oomph, a little bit more power while still maintaining the crunch, I think it'll add way more depth and way more overall balance to the song, you know?
Yeah.
Because the crunch isn't bad at all. It's just kind of balancing it out so that it's not as crunchy, but still delivers the power of the overall beat. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the way I think of it is like we were saying, like this kind of reminds both of us of like a Flying Lotus take on like popular trap music. So I feel like listen to his music. Like, he'll do that. Like, he'll have the whole thing will be crunching, but he knows how to mix it in a way where the low end still has weight and it still sounds like a professional track, even if it's not like, you know, the most clean, like, perfect, pristine type of mix that you're going for.
Yeah. Honestly, another good example. Hey, thanks, man. Another good example. If you listen to, I know this is kind of stupid, but it's also the perfect example. If you listen to Suge by DaBaby, I mean, that's like the perfect example of crunchy 808, but equal like balance in terms of oomph of the 808.
Yeah.
Like being able to equalize the highs and the lows to create a very crunchy sound, but still make it sound very powerful. You know. And it's not necessarily distracting. At least for me, it's not distracting. So.
Yeah, and also, like, it could just be the sample. Like, if you get, like exactly like he said, like, those kind of 808s, like, they just know how, a lot of times, how to pick the samples that are still, like, that kind of, like, crunchy 808, but it sounds still very balanced, like you said. Got it, Doug. Okay, Andrew Newcomb. Okay, cool. Well, we will play that one after the next donation. And Shrala Cowboy, I think that's how I say that. We'll play yours. But yeah, thank you for going through, Silas, and thank you for the donation. Any last words?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Nice. All right, well, let's hear this next one from Nicholas Zalo. Opening set vibes. I'm ready.
Hell yeah.
What speakers are you listening to the tracks on, Julian? Headphones. You can hear the fans. But
Can we say what kind of speakers you use?
Yeah, sure. I don't care.
Okay. We do use KRK Rocket 6.
Yeah, they're just simple KRK Rocket 6s. Same ones on the demo section at Guitar Center right now. Treylock? Okay, cool. Yeah, my bad. Sometimes it's just I've said so many names wrong before. Also, this reminds me of Rez.
Yeah, I like the cover art.
Yeah, it's cool. This has a lot of life to it, which is good.
I love the drums. Just the percussion overall is really great in this song.
Yeah.
Overkill for your room. Oh yeah, the 10-3s are pretty nice.
I didn't even know those existed.
We play house music.
Us Americans aren't always cultured with names. We're sorry.
Yeah. No, definitely.
This is a really good track. I mean, it's very atmospheric. It's very flowy. It keeps the flow of the beat going really well.
Yeah. And it's like, it's been a minute and a half now, and we haven't gotten bored, and it's pretty much been the same thing. So
Yeah.
that speaks to what he's saying.
Especially like if you play this in a club, just the fact that like
yeah.
the vibe builds extremely well, and it's very clean. And it just keeps it flowing really well. There's no real. Again, I mean, it's designed to be repetitive, but it works really, like, it doesn't get bored, you know? Like, it doesn't sound repetitive. And it really helps that you do have the pads and the really good, like, your percussion is excellent. Your percussion puts this track into
We
another
play house
level,
music.
I would say. And then your pads also really work out.
Yeah. It feels like everything is moving. Even though it's just, like, staying in the same place, you're still, like, the way I'm thinking of it is, like, if you're watching a video of somebody in a room, right? If they're just in that room, the whole, like, say the video is 30 minutes. If they're just in that room for 30 minutes, sitting in the same place, maybe moving slightly, it's not going to be that interesting. But if they're in that room painting a picture or jumping around or telling you a story or something, that 30 minutes can go by pretty quick. That's kind of the idea here. I feel like you're in the room, but, you know, there's some movement happening. It's something is happening. Now, I do think you can make the kick and bass a little bit stronger and just kind of more, like, there. Like, I feel like you could kind of bring up the low end and it would kind of bring it out a bit more. And also the high end would be... It'd be nice if you could boost the high end a bit on the hi-hats and percussion. You could literally just put an EQ on the group and just boost it, but I think that would help a lot as well. Kind of reminds me of Kyle Hall. Everybody tells me to do a Kyle Hall video, but I have not actually listened to his music. So I would not be able to corroborate that.
House music.
It sounds a lot like Camel Fat to me as well.
Yeah, I hear it.
Like the percussion progression really sounds like Camel Fat to me.
Yeah.
You like it?
It's crispy. Now, my one critique I'll give you also is, to be honest with you, I think the We Play House Music sample, I'm not the biggest fan. I feel like whenever you have a house song where you say something about house music in it, to me, I just think it's kind of corny. I feel like, to be honest, like, you could get a vocal sample that could be more meaningful and deep. It's like, because think about it. You already like house music if you're listening to house music. There's no reason to say we love house music in the song. But if you get something that could be maybe a bit deeper and could be maybe something people could connect with a little bit more. I mean, I guess maybe I'm being too, like, it's too commercial, but I feel like you could do something a little bit stronger there.
Just sounds some like really stupid subliminal messages like "Quit your job,"
Stop by. And there's the tavern on the corner.
"Throw away the soda," just something stupid. I like it though. I think it's not that intrusive. I mean, honestly, like most people aren't really. It's not one of those things where people are gonna be like immediately taken out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one thing like breaking the fourth wall with any art is really difficult to make it kind of seamless. Like, how do I explain this? Deadpool's a great example. Because even though he does break the fourth wall, it's kind of annoying just because he's like, I break that fourth wall. But there are a lot of other examples out there of people breaking the fourth wall, and it feels natural because they're not like identifying, oh wow, I just broke the fourth wall. Look at how original I am. Yay, I'm so cool. It's not that original. You're not really making a statement, you know? But we play house music. I mean, that's not inherently like breaking the fourth wall. It'd be different if you were like, hello, it is me, Zalo. Welcome. I play my music. That's just being very direct, and like people are gonna be like, okay, that sounds kind of stupid. But we play house. I personally don't have a problem with it. I think it sounds okay.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like you said, like it does a good job of not being intrusive. It's not like you have that like every bar.
Yeah.
That would be too much. So it's really up to you.
That's house music. And I just, I didn't realize.
You should send this to Fuse London.
We play house music.
One recommendation I do have though is either add more reverb or add more effects to the vocal sample, because right now it just sounds like you're just saying like we like house music into a microphone and just kind of just tossing it over the beat and then just kind of have it like that. So I will say, yeah, that's the only thing is like make it sound a little bit more dynamic, like a little bit more atmospheric. Like I mean, listen to any electronic song, they're gonna have a bit more of an atmospheric sound to their vocal sample. So
House music.
because that just having it sound standard, that will absolutely take people out of the track. Like it'll kind of break the flow, break the vibe. But if you make it sound atmospheric enough, it'll sound good. So, or not that's the wrong way to say it. It'll flow better. There we go.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Especially like you could put like a delay automation or like some reverb automation maybe in this part, and have it kind of like build up. I think that'd be really interesting as well. Like you said, it would make it so much more dynamic. So overall, very solid track. You have some really good stuff going on here. The main things that can be hard to get, you've gotten. You just need to kind of like finesse it a little bit more, and then it'll be really solid. Anyway, thank you for seeing that one through. This next one is
We have the one more donation track.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. Hold on, let me see who did it. Who did it? Okay, well there should be one from Andrew Ray. Oh, okay, I think that's Andy R. Nice. Submission. Beat starts at 1 minute. All right, let's hear it. Live track recorded on Octatrack. Dude, I tried to use an Octatrack one time. Remember that time we went to the synth store?
Yeah.
Dude, that thing that I like posted on my Instagram story, I don't know how anybody uses those. Like, honestly, props to you. Even if you make the worst song ever on an Octatrack, like,
Yeah.
it's like a whole different workflow. But I think you can do some cool stuff on it. What's analog heat? Is that a plugin or is that like hardware? I will have one hardware. XTC. Yo, this sounds really cool. Oh, nice. I can show you. I feel like it's just you're pressing so many buttons. Yo, Gaga, thank you very much. Yours is up next after the other donation. This almost reminds me of Arca. Yeah, I know.
It's combining so many different elements of. It combines so many different elements of electronic music that shouldn't work, but they work so well.
Yeah, because it's like ambient music, but then also like it's got like ambient, but also kind of like drum and bass, but also
Yeah.
like you know.
It really blends really well.
Yeah, it's dope. I do think a little bit of work can be done to like perfect it and really make it something amazing, but in terms of composition and the sounds, it's great. I'm gonna stop doing that.
The key is to break the fifth wall. Yeah, you're right.
But first, you have to discover the fifth wall.
You have to discover society.
Maybe the fifth wall was society all along. Okay, this does kind of meander toward the end. That's one thing, is like, this was really dope when you came out of this into this, but like, you definitely could optimize it toward the end, because I feel like, you know, if you just keep going with like, okay, here, let me throw the glitchy noise in your face, like, that's cool, but it needs to go somewhere. I think what Aphex Twin does really, really well when he makes music like this is he knows how to make it like progress. He doesn't just like get lost and like kind of meander in just the noise. He knows how to like take it somewhere, and that's what you need to work on here with this ending. And I think, you know, it may come down to taking this and messing with it in Ableton or something. Like, I wouldn't just stick to the hardware, because this is the other thing I was gonna say, is I feel like your mix would really be improved if you took the stems and put this into Ableton and just like mixed it as like a track like that, you know? You don't have to just be married to like, oh, this is a live track only done one time live with all hardware. Like, really try taking this and take these stems into Ableton and play with the arrangement, you know, mix it up a little bit. Try actually mixing the track as well, like just all that stuff. Oh, my bad. But like, yeah, I just feel like it could be a little bit more grabbing me toward the end. And that's also what I'm kind of realizing while listening to this, is like why Aphex Twin is so famous, I guess. But yeah, like overall, this is a really cool track, dude. You have some really cool stuff going on. I love the granular synths. I love this part. It just, I know it could be a lot better if you take it and work with it in the computer and just kind of like, you know, really take it to the next level. Give it some automation, stuff like that. Do you have any words?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
sorry, I kind of zoned out for a second.
No, you good, you good. But I just didn't want to be like, this is about me. Nice. Well, this next one is from, let's look at the list. That's not the list. The next one is from CC. We're going to review it entirely in a puberty voice. Okay. Follow your reverb kick tutorial. Got some solid, nice drums going. I read that out of order. Maybe I have dyslexia. What do you think I could do with the breakdown in the middle?
Cheers.
Oh, that was so loud. Yo, Julian, I just submitted a check on email. Okay, thank you, man. I saw your donation. I'm gonna play that wherever it is in the order of the donations and submissions. All right, got some rumbles.
This is a very Julian Earl sounding kick. Did you get Clan's donation?
Yeah, I did. Very fat hi-hat. I like it.
Personally, I would turn them down a little bit, but they sound really good though, I must say.
Yeah, it's not very balanced.
Yeah. I like that. I love that. I love the chord progression. I really like that. I'm always gonna be a sucker for chord progressions.
Yeah. I agree. Although what I would do is maybe save the chord progression for the break, because right now that bass hitting with the rumble kick, it's clashing. Like, you don't want to have those two things happening at once. The point is, like, the rumble is supposed to be the bass. I like the chord stab a lot, so save the chord progression for, like, the break over here. Like how you brought it in there was good.
I would also try making whenever you get the synth in, because I do like the synth sound, maybe make each chord a little bit more chordy. Like, just add more notes to each individual chord. That way it kind of boosts itself a little bit more. Does that make sense? That made no sense, I'm sorry.
No, like, exactly, because it's like, right now it's an implied chord progression. You're hearing these notes, and you can determine what key it's in. You can tell if it's minor or major. You can kind of tell where it's going, the feeling. But it's all implied because you're not hearing, like, the notes on top of the root notes are what give it, like, the feeling you're describing. So,
Yeah.
definitely, like, I agree with that. That chord step is really nice, though. This reminds me of something I'd hear on, like, R and S. Also, the kick could still be fatter. We'll get to that. What? Yeah, let's do it. We can go whenever. Yeah, me and yeah, we should get through those. Yeah, we can do it quickly too. We can always, it can, but like, I'll talk about it. The hi-hat quite overpowering. The thing is, the hi-hat is good, but it's like Dylan said, like, it's not really balanced out with the kick. It feels like the hi-hat is too loud. But the hi-hat's actually where it should be. The kick just needs to be a lot stronger.
Yeah, the hi-hats, at least in the beginning, to me, they were more like cymbals than hi-hats, you know?
Yeah.
It was kind of like banging on like a crash
It's really
cymbal.
full.
Yeah, which is great, but for the sound that you're going for, I think it would balance itself out a little bit better if you found a hi-hat that maybe sounded a little bit more tinny and wasn't as like long. So instead of because right now it's like a push, 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 make it sound more like a t, 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 like that kind of like hi-hat sound.
Yeah, definitely. And I do actually like the big full one in this part, but maybe in this part you could automate it, and then it would be shorter.
That's what
like
I'm saying. Later in the track, it'll sound great, but in the beginning, it's just a little bit too much.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you gotta ease into it, you know?
A little fatter and wider. Fatter and wider is always better. Super wide. Yeah, like right here the cymbal works because you have a little bit more stuff going on.
honest with you, that effect coming in there sounds kind of like you were like not sure what to do there, so you just added the effect. I wouldn't do that. I would get rid of that. Because it just kind of comes in random, especially if you're like trying to mix with another track. I don't think that's going to fit so well. So, overall, what I got to say about this track is it's a pretty solid one. You definitely have some cool stuff going on, but I feel like you could really work on it, like making the kick fatter and more balanced with that hi-hat, you know. Still, just trying to make it more full. Put it up against more reference tracks. Also, like we were saying, like the chords, instead of implying the chords, you should really like just throw the chord progression in our face. Tell us what it is. Don't leave it to like kind of guess where it's going, if that makes any sense. And the way you do that would just be by filling out the chords. And then also, don't have the chords where you have the rumble kick. Save the bass and all that kind of stuff for the part where there's no rumble happening. And then, yeah, just like optimizing the arrangement. You have a good idea here. I just think you can work on it a little bit more. But yeah, thank you for sending that one through. Also, with the breakdown in the middle, the breakdown wasn't that bad, but I do feel like those effects at the end, like the whooshes, felt kind of random, just like how they were in the drop. I would maybe try to like streamline it a little bit more.
Another thing that you could do is instead of having the swooshes like repeat every bar, essentially like you can automate it out to be like 16 bars long, and just kind of have it build, and then that way like you can have it like, and then like once you get to a drop at the end, just kind of have that build and then silence and then go back into the beat, because then that way, one, you can mix that super easily with other tracks, and two, it gives it a much stronger build-up effect, and then the drop just gets emphasized that much more. You know?
Yeah.
And then that way it doesn't become a random effect. That way you can use it to basically build along with the track.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, I think about this like every single day. Like techno is so repetitive, right? Like it's literally a 1-bar loop over and over. So what you have to think about is it's kind of like the music over time. It's like it's not about that 1-bar loop. It's about hearing that 1-bar loop so many times and like kind of changing it into something over time. So that speaks to exactly what you're saying. It's like you never want to just have like a and then think of it in that kind of like 1-bar thing. Like you said, you know, if you build it and build it and build it and kind of like pull the listener through, that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for sending that one through. Thank you for the donation. This next one is from Bjorn. Thank you for the donation, man.
Bjorn.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Glad we
Yeah,
could
no
help you
problem at
out.
all. Guys, I'm lagging.
Yeah. There's only so much we can do on our end right now.
Yeah. Honestly, though, the stream has not been too bad.
Yeah. Bjorn, I'm a massive fan of that album artwork. I love that font. That is super, super cool. It's a very marketable font.
It'll be easy to read on a festival.
And as a sticker. Ooh, very fat kick.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Like, okay, I'm not trying to say anything bad about that last track. I apologize, man. If this makes you feel bad, I'm sorry. But, like, think about it like this. This kick, even like, this isn't a rumble kick. And honestly, this isn't even, like, the fattest kick sample ever. This small kick was fatter than the rumble kick in the other track. Like, that's how I always try to think of it. Like, even if you're making, like, a softer genre, still try to make it as fat as, like, the fattest kick in, like, a techno track or something like that, if that makes any sense.
Hey Bjorn, if you need me to design, if you want a professional logo, hit me up. I can design you one. I do graphic design.
That's what he's doing.
Ooh, beautiful transition. Oh, this is so awesome. I love this.
Yeah, this is really
This
tight.
is really nice. I'm really vibing with this.
Awesome. Well, TC, thank you, because some people would get very offended by that, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah, all the feedback here, pause it for a second. Just so everybody is aware, every feedback that we do, we're trying to be honest with how we personally feel, because again, being able to like not sugarcoat feedback is extremely helpful for artists, because it's honest, and you can take that feedback, like you can do whatever you want with the feedback. Like we're not saying you need to follow what we do, because at the end of the day, it's just an opinion. But we'd rather be honest with how we feel so that you know exactly how we feel. And you can take that into consideration when you're making your next track. Because not like if you have your friends, for example, they're just gonna gas you up all the time. It's like, oh, like it sounds amazing, like because they're afraid to be honest with you. But for us, it's like we value honesty and genuineness in terms of like how we feel, how a certain sound might make us feel, over just like saying like, oh, it sounds amazing, like don't change anything about it, because then you don't really grow as an artist, and then you kind of like pigeonhole yourself into a pit that you're not really gonna grow out of, you know. So we're not, whenever we say something, there's a between us being like, oh, your track sucks, that's just us being assholes. But we actually are trying to give legitimate, genuine feedback to you guys so that you guys can improve your skills and be the musician that you guys want to be. Whether you guys listen to our opinions or not, that's up to you guys. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we can provide you genuine feedback so that you can invest that into your artwork and make it better just overall. Not only like how you want it to sound, but making it so that other people are like, hey, this is fucking cool. Like, this sounds really nice, you know? Sorry for cursing, by the way. But
Nah, you good. But yeah, like exactly like he said, it's like we're like if you spent money to get us to give you like detailed feedback, we're literally wasting your money if we just say it's good. Like it's just wasting your time. Like, cause either way, whether we say your track is good or if we say it's bad, if it's bad, the objective fact still exists that it's bad, whether we say it's good or if we say it's bad. So it's like, yeah, it's just better all around if we're just as honest as can be. Do you recommend a good kickback on Splice? I haven't made a Splice. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. There's this one called Junction on there, which is really good.
yeah, Dave, that's exactly what we were saying. That's exactly the point. It's like, we don't want to stroke people's egos. We want to help you guys become better artists, you know? Because, I mean, this is all feedback. Like, if we had this growing up through, like, I mean, what? Julian's been doing music production for over a decade. And, I mean, at the end of the, like, even for me with, like, film production, I only had what my friends and my professors were going off. But if I had different people from completely different perspectives, like, being taken away from the situation that I was in, you're able to get a much fresher perspective from somebody that doesn't know who you are personally, doesn't know what other work you've done personally. At the end of the day, one thing that I will tell all of you guys, it's stupid and I don't agree with it, but the reality is perception matters. It's all about perception. It's all about first impressions, and it's all about that first flavor that you present to somebody. And this track, for example, I love this track. Even though I don't know Bjorn as an artist personally, this track is really great. And I would be more inclined to listen to more of his stuff just because the original, just that first track that I listened to, it just so happened to be the first track that I listened to, but it sounds great. But if as an artist you present a track that even though you might be proud of it and you think it sounds really great, that person might not have that same reaction that you or your friends might have. So again, it's one of those things that it's really difficult to kind of figure out how you want to be perceived and like how you, like what perception you want to work up to. But that first contact, that first taste, that first flavor, that matters. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, image is everything. It's image is literally everything. You could be the most talented person in the entire world, and people aren't gonna care. You know, why do you think influencers and YouTubers and all these people that are extremely shallow come to LA? Because they know that perception is all that really matters, and they're making millions off of people that don't care except for their image, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, sorry. I'm really bad at going into rants. I apologize.
That's okay.
But yeah,
It's a skill.
yeah, and I'm 22. So Julian, you're what?
same.
22? Yeah. So I mean, we're still young, but we're trying to make it work. I mean, we're adults at this point, so it's one of those things we can't really piggyback off of other people all the time to help us through. Like, we kind of have to make it on our own. So that's half the battle. I mean, it's hard, but it's fun. So we really enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to get
What?
breast implants. Dude, breast implants are the way to go, let me tell you.
That is a great way to make a great first impression. Depending on who you're talking with. But yeah, like I agree with him. I mean, dude, this is why like in my videos, like I've always tried to put like right off the bat. You hear the song, and when you hear it, it's at like a high quality level. Like just right away, as soon as you click on the video, there's something right there for you. Because it's like you said, like the first thing you hear is going to impact how you see, or the first thing somebody says to you, or whatever it is going to impact how you're perceived, or how they perceive you for like the rest of the time that you're dealing with them.
Yeah, and the other thing that it's kind of an open secret, but nobody really talks about it. People don't care about your situation. That doesn't. I know it sounds very harsh, but the reality is like most people, like 98% of the people don't care about how it was made. They just care about how it sounds. So and it's the same with filmmaking. Most people don't care about how the movie will, in the grand scheme of things, within the industry, within people that make films and music, yeah, obviously they care, but people like your finance brokers or your fast food workers or your truck drivers or your Catholic church leader, I don't know, they don't really care about how it was made. They care about how it sounds for music or how it looks for a film or a video on the internet. That's all that really matters. So it's kind of half the battle of like, how do you as an artist want it to sound and look, but also like what kind of audience are you trying to reach? And if you can reach that audience, your specific target audience, can you reach an audience outside of your target audience? So I would say a perfect example of this would be Tyler the Creator, for example. I mean, with Odd Future and his music up until his latest album was a very specific audience, a very passionate audience. And then he was kind of able to break out of that and become a mainstream artist. I mean, the reality is he's now a mainstream artist while still maintaining that strong fan base. So that's kind of like, it's very difficult and it's very hard to get to that point. But you have to focus first things first. Be true to yourself as an artist. Do what you like and then send it to as many people as possible. Send it to as many people as possible, even people that you don't talk to, and just be like, hey, listen to us. Let me know what you think. And then you'll be able to get way more opinions and much more honest, genuine feedback out of it.
Yeah.
You know? So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Dude, I feel you.
No matter what it is or how
They're agreeing with you.
the emotion it triggers. Yeah, that's basically what it boils down to, you know?
Yeah.
Feedback, stay on your channel. Yeah, all the streams are logged on Julian's channel after we're done streaming.
Yeah, if there's like an issue, if any of you like, if it's all choppy while I'm giving your feedback, the video will be up for you to watch in like 2 hours or so. Anyway, with this track though, dude, I was liking hearing like you talk about all this like inspiring
But
creative
also
stuff.
like we gotta get back to
While-
talking about the music, yeah.
But like while this was building up, dude, that's what you should put on this. You should sample Dylan talking about that from the stream, and then put it over your track.
But yeah, like I don't know what it is, but this beat just sounds very nostalgic to me. Like it brings
Yeah, I
back,
was
it brings
thinking
back
that
memories
too.
of me going to like drift meets in high school.
Yeah.
Like my friends and I, we would always just blast like electronic music on our way to like drift meets, so like car drifting meets, and it's just that brings back memories. Like we would have absolutely blasted that like top down, like roof down, I guess, and like a convertible, and just like just cruising down the highway on the way to a drift meet. So I don't know, that song just makes me feel very happy. I really like it.
Yeah, you're doing a good job of like getting the music and the character and like the texture of it to kind of work together. Like that's how you do that essentially. It's like character and texture of your track combined with the musicality of it comes together. And you're doing that very well. Now, what I do think you could do, to be honest with you, is I do think like after a certain point, it's kind of like like you could kind of make it a little bit more interesting. You know, like I mean, just give it more depth. It's like I think of it like sophistication. It's like okay. Think about like a burger at McDonald's. Like think about how nuanced that is. Like it is. I'm not saying this is a burger at McDonald's. I'm just saying like it's an extreme example. Like think about how nuanced that is. It's like no, they're just throwing meat in between two pieces of bread with some stuff. But it's like you could do that, or you could go to like a nice restaurant where like they'll make it and they're going to put in a bunch of spices and they're going to kind of like give it character.
Fuck that. buy your own meat at the grocery store, buy your own buns, make it yourself, and then be like, yo, I made this. And I know this tastes amazing because I made this myself. You were in control of the entire process. I mean, seriously, think about it though.
Yeah, well,
you go to a restaurant and they're
you
like,
give it the
you have
nuance.
some like drunk cook, they're like, the hamburger. But with you, it's like, dude, I'm in control of all this, you know? So
Yeah, exactly. And it's like
royalty-free inspirational quote sample pack. I'll be right on that. So
it's coming. Let's do a 50-50 split on that one. But yeah, like I said, like I just feel like you could like kind of give it more nuance. It's like no. It's just going up the scale. Like you could do something a little bit more with it. Listen to like Calm Truth or somebody like that. Overall, though, I mean, very good track.
I like
Bjorn.
it a lot. It sounds very good.
Yeah, I like it too. Like I don't think that it's bad. I just think there's a few things that could be improved. Anyway, yeah, thank you for sending that one through, Bjorn, and thank you for the donation as well. This next one, this is the last donation, is from Kian. First time making a track with vocals. I used to think it was Cian, but then I heard one person pronounce their name as Kian who had that name, and I was like, okay, it's Kian. First time making a track with vocals, hope you enjoy. Dude, this guy usually sends in some pretty dope stuff, too.
All right, let's hear it. I'm excited.
I'm excited, too. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, no
No
problem,
problem,
man.
Bjorn.
Keep on working. Make an impossible Whopper for your Hell yeah.
Plant-based techno. Okay.
Also, Kian, please never change your profile picture. I love it.
And then we're gonna do Lala Zub. Hold on, let me see. Oh, maybe you did super chat.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, we'll put you in next. Thank you for the donation. Alright, well, we'll play this.
I love that, yeah.
Yeah, vocals tight. I'm waiting for some lyrics though.
They're coming. Give it some time. Be
It's
patient.
building nicely.
Exchanging smiles like nothing has changed. If only things would stay.
This is nice. I like this.
Running
Yeah,
miles
this
to
is dope.
keep you safe. If only things would stay the same. If only
One thing I'll say though is I hear there's a lot of layers of vocals, which is really good. Although what you need to do is kind of produce them a little bit more. Like, think about which one is going to be the lead and make that the loudest one. Like, make that as loud as you have all of these right now. And then take the background ones and try to, like, put them in the back. Like, pan them, put the volume down, maybe filter them a little. Like, I think you could kind of spread the vocals out because if you just have them all in the same place, it just kind of sounds like a lot of the same thing. But if you spread them out, it's more detailed.
things would stay the same. If only things would stay the same. If only things would stay the same.
Nice build.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
it.
nice. I'm always gonna be a sucker for crispy synths.
Yeah, I love that.
This is a very good synth.
And it's so big and wide. You could definitely get a fatter kick though. Like, literally just find a track that released on Afterlife and sample the kick from there.
Yeah, I agree. I think a little. Yeah, like the kick, like right here, sounds really nice.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit stronger. Not too overpowering, but
Right. Cause yeah, like I would just love to be really like I feel like that would really pull me into the track. Like it would make it really like grab me and like,
yeah,
you
exactly.
know? But this is really strong. Like the musicality here.
Beautiful.
This is kind of what I was talking about when I was saying like make something a little bit more sophisticated with your art. Like this isn't just da na 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 or even da na 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 na. It's kind of like, you know, it's bouncing around a bit.
This is the hamburger that you make at home.
Exactly. Use a transient shaper like a no, I did not. some people who like every sound in their tracks they use transient shapers, but I do not go there.
I would also say with this track, maybe play around with the vocals a little bit more. Just cause like you can insert even like a little vocal sample into different parts of the song and see what that sounds like.
Maybe chop these up a little bit more. Some distortion. Oh yeah, well, we, yeah, let's do it. No, I mean, we just haven't really like thought about it aside from the whole conversation.
Well, no, but I think like if we announce it,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good way. Okay, yeah, that's true. I like that. Yo, Frugs. I think you've sent me an email the past 3 streams, but dude, I keep replying, and then you don't reply back.
If only things would stay the same. If only things would stay the same. If only things would stay the same.
it's so smooth. I love it. I love it. Give me more.
I like how it builds, but you don't notice it building.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a very subtle build. I really like it. Yeah, Sion. I mean, again, like the only real criticism that, or not criticism, critique, is to have a fatter kick in different parts of the song. But besides that, I mean, everything sounds really good. Like it sounds really nice. Yeah, no, this is nice.
Yeah. We're not allowed to say on this one, man. Like, it's a very full song. It's just there's 2 things that we said. Fatter kick, again, literally just sample one from an Afterlife track. I don't care, no shame. And also the vocals, like I was saying, like you could do, like Dylan said, you could do something more interesting around this part, maybe chop them up a little. And then also just the different layers, trying to put them in different places in the mix. But yeah,
we have a donation from Mike.
Yeah, I was about to play his. And also there's one more on top of that actually. This is, yeah, alright, let's get this one from Mike.
Hey, Mike. Make more feedback streams. We will. Once OBS it works.
Maybe I'll just come back and stream tomorrow because I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks properly. But we still going up.
2 of them look mad. What?
Dude, this guy always says that. He keeps calling me Vero. But I think he's a fan, but...
Alright, okay, alright.
I think it means like...
I like this outrun
something
synth.
sexual, to be honest. Yeah, this
I like
is
this
tight.
outrun synth.
Yeah, dude, this is like some super progressive stuff. Already, I like it.
Maybe boost the synth a little bit. Maybe turn the reverb down a tiny bit.
Yeah, you can make it more, yeah. Beefcake sandwich today. A lot of meat in that bun.
Oh yeah, let me tell you, buddy. This is the official Techno NFL stream. Only play football.
I'd love to hear something rhythmic during this part. Like even this pad, you could have like a volume automation and be like da-da-da-da-da-da on top of it or something. It just means like something. Now that I sent the first one. Alright, well Mike, we'll get to that eventually. On another stream probably.
I like this a lot. Very atmospheric.
Yeah. The thing about this progressive stuff is like, it makes a lot of sense in the club, but in terms of like music, like, think of if you told somebody in the 1950s, like, okay, there's gonna be music where it's just one chord the whole way through. Like, it's hard. It's like it's a interesting skill to be able to make
I think
tracks like this.
Well, I feel like if you told someone in the 1950s that it's just like, hey, society, am I right? And then they're like, oh, society. Dude, we are a society.
But it's just like, so it's an interesting art form to try to work with because, like I said, like it's the opposite of music. It's one chord, but you're doing a good job here keeping it interesting. I do think the mix could be better though. I'd listen to like some Hidden Empire tracks maybe, or like some Art Bat, and listen to how their like mixes work. Cause I definitely think your kick could be stronger and your drums could be, the drums like not just the kick but like the hi-hats and the rides and the claps feel kind of thin.
Also, did you make this album artwork? Because if so, it looks absolutely beautiful.
Okay, yeah, so honestly, man, you got a solid track here. Like, it's not bad at all. I just think that you can work on the mix, and not just the mix, but also, like, getting the sounds to sound more professional and more full and just, like, more there. You know, it kind of feels like it's a little bit cloudy right now. I feel like you can try and just make it more focused and tight. But yeah, thank you for sending that one through. Next one is from All. Thank you for the donation, man. Also, happy birthday. Loving your channel and musical growth, dude. Thank you.
Hey, Taze, I got bad news for you. Hitler was dead in the 50s, so you might have to go back a little bit further to kill him.
Might be in the wrong time there. But you could probably find somebody and call them virile back then. They might take great offense to that. They weren't very progressive about that kind of stuff at the time. They might like beat you up. I love your artwork. Love the avocado theme. What up, him? Haba Baba. Vocal sounds kind of cool.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, wow.
Very interesting. Because the entire production up until the drop was very disorienting.
Yeah.
It was like there's like 4 different like BPMs going on at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
That
No,
drop
exactly.
is very cool. I love that.
Yeah, it's
That's
really tight.
Really nice.
And I love how it's like the R&B chord progression. Like this is literally a chord progression out of like a 90s R&B song. But then you got that with like these cool like future garage, almost like burial. I'm not gonna say these sound like burial drums, but they're a very burial influence, you know? It's a good juxtaposition.
Yeah. This is really cool. Love the more synth too. Or well, I guess more.
Vocal chop from Random Singer on Instagram though. That's actually dope. That's really cool when you do vocal chops that way. Also, if I donate again, any feedback, I think we're gonna go after this one, but dude, I'll be back in literally tomorrow or the next day.
For the next week, yeah.
Yeah, this one's really cool. I don't really have a lot to say. I wanna hear this break. The synth is meandering with the bada 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 bada, that thing. I feel like you can make that a bit more exciting. Drop a dub dub.
Yeah, this is really nice though. It rides
Yeah,
really
this is- I'd love to hear a full singer over this. I feel like this would be perfect if you got like a singer on it. Hey, and we can sample the drums out at the end. So, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. It's a cool track, really cool. I just think that one synth, the bada that thing, you could definitely work on that. And well, honestly, I would just replace that, or not replace it, but get rid of it and get somebody to sing over this. This would be so cool if you got like a really good singer. Do you have anything to say?
No, I mean that's pretty much it. Like, I think some vocal samples would be interesting to use with this one, But overall, just the production itself really carries itself really well.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty much all I really have to say.
Yeah, and also I think that this. Sorry, I just have so much to say about this, but I think this also speaks to like, okay, you have a really strong chord progression here, so that is enough of a foundation for this to carry itself. It's like if you just had like 2 boring chords or something, this wouldn't work as well with this production. But because you have a really nice chord progression and the vocals are working well with that, then like it all comes together and it elevates the whole thing. So something to keep in mind for everybody. But yeah, with that, I believe we are going to go. That is the end of the donations for today. We have an announcement. We have a podcast coming soon.
We have a podcast coming soon.
It's called The Best Boys.
The Best Boys. Yeah, it's a podcast where we talk about things. The idea is that we basically just talk about random things on our mind, and then, yeah, just critique some music that we really enjoy, talk about art, talk about life, talk about tendies. Yeah, just random things. So come hang out with us. It'll be uploaded pretty soon, and check it out on YouTube and SoundCloud and wherever else Julian puts down. Because right now I'm putting a lot of words into his mouth that he might not have approved yet. So
No, definitely. Like, yeah, it'll be up on this channel. How do you get a thing on Spotify? I don't know.
Nah.
I mean, it's probably like distribution.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, so I'm glad you guys all joined us. It was a really fun time. My name is Dylan. For those that don't know me, I pop on the live streams every now and again. But I make music, and I make videos, and I have a project called Park and Ride. You should go check it out on Instagram. Go to my website, dylanbreezy.com, and go subscribe to Julian, this guy right here. He makes really, really cool music. And he's a dope producer and a great friend. So,
My name is Julian. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Dylan. That was great. I'm about to sample that.
Please
for
do.
like the beginning of my DJ set. But yeah, so thank you so much, guys. We love you all.